Welcome back for another video. Team selection and transfer plans for gameweek 13 next. It's been another really good week in FPL, moving just inside the top 50k or thereabouts. I've lost my voice a little bit. I was out in London last night with mates celebrating my birthday, so bear with me for this one. So let's break down what we've learned from the weekend's games to take forward to next game week. Caicedo rested for Chelsea, but still 3 points for Chelsea nonetheless. 2-0 win over Burnley, thanks to goals from Neto, and then a late goal from Enzo. Finally something from Enzo. Chelsea seem to love a 12:30 kickoff apparently. That's 8 wins at 12:30 in a row. Only City have managed to get the better of Gandhi. They've had a run of 9 wins on the bounce at half 12 games. So yeah, finally Enzo coming good, and he had posted really good numbers in recent matches, like 0.7 XGI game week 11, 0.65 game week 10, 0.56 in game week 9, and well played if you kept patient with him. 11 points is big. James with a half-time substitution, which was pre-planned, and this is the issue with James. Like when he does start, there's the potential to come off early because they want to manage him. There's the potential for benchings, and obviously it's Arsenal next, so just get rid. Gu also getting an assist off the bench. Not an FPL prospect, but Santos had a brilliant game for Chelsea. Another good performance from Sanchez as well overall. It was a game to forget for João Pedro and his owners. 75 minutes he played, he blanked, and he got a booking for a 1-pointer. And it's Arsenal next, of course, as I say, so João Pedro, easy sell if you've got him. So the talk of the week was whether Semenyo would play or not. Bit of a strange one, because he pulled out the international break with a quote-unquote injury. It looked like it was potentially pre-planned to propose to his girlfriend. Then he missed out in the end, but Iriola said that it was actually just because he picked up an illness, so he would have played otherwise. Senesi did get an assist, but obviously the 2 goals conceded, so 3-pointer. And he's really been stinking it up as of late. He's averaging 2.8 points per game over the last 6 game weeks, only 1 clean sheet in his last 7 games. Though obviously with some pretty good fixtures to come still, you'd be inclined to hold, unless you can upgrade him to someone like a Munoz. Unal back in the team scoring off the bench. Weirdly, last season Unal came on in the 80th minute and scored an equaliser against West Ham. And this season he came on in the 80th minute again and he scored an equaliser versus West Ham again. Bournemouth probably should have won this one. They registered just over 4 expected goals against them. That was the most of Saturday's games by an absolute mile. 28 shots, 22 of those in the box, 4 big chances. Well, this wasn't part of the script. Van Dijk disaster transfer for myself and many others as Liverpool lost 3-0 at Anfield to Nottingham Forest. Great result for Sean Dyche's Forest. Real shock result though, despite how bad the season's been going for them. There's been just 2 occasions in the Premier League ever where a team started in the relegation zone and won by 3 or more goals away against the reigning champions, and Nottingham Forest responsible for both of those. They won 4-1 against Leeds in December 92 and then 3-0 against Liverpool yesterday. Isak is the first Liverpool player in Premier League history to end on the losing side in each of his first 4 starts for the club. And Liverpool have lost back-to-back league games by a margin of 3+ goals for the first time since April 1965, which was under Bill Shankly. Murillo with a mega haul as well. He got the very elusive goal, clean sheet, max bonus and DEFCON combo for 17 points. Anderson also scoring, by the way. He's honestly looking like a real option again after back-to-back 9-pointers. It's good fixtures ahead for Forest, and he's dropped down to 5.3 million, which makes him even more appealing at a discount. 13.08 DEFCONs per 90 for Anderson is literally top in the entire league, mids or defenders. So who's got the best upcoming fixtures then? The top 10 are Liverpool, City, Bournemouth, Fulham, Man United, Arsenal, Villa, Brentford, Newcastle and then Burnley. Some of these teams have definitely got lots of options, some not so much. It's difficult to make the case for any Liverpool players right now, like Van Dijk and maybe Gakpo, but that's about it, and they're not inspiring confidence, are they? There's Szoboszlai as well, but he could play right back more in the absence of Bradley and Frimpong. O'Reilly's been quite heavily discussed recently because he is doing well overall recently, but I just can't get behind a player that aren't secure guaranteed starters. He's going to start most games, don't get me wrong, and of course Aït-Nouri's off to AFCON, but it just still doesn't feel certain for me, and I think there'll be a couple of games before the new year where he's on the bench, I feel, so probably not for me. But if you're on free hit 13 for example, then I don't mind it at all. Anderson's smashed it recently, like 10-pointer against Sunderland last game week, 15 defensive contributions. So DEFCON points for him on top of that and some bonus. And he looks good to start every game after game week 15. So yeah, the next two aren't great, but he's someone to potentially consider for later if you don't own him. It's really cheap as well. Cunha's quite an intriguing option as well, and I'm looking at him. Now granted, he's not done a great deal so far in the Man United shirt, in terms of output at least, but he should be very secure for minutes long term. Sesko's out for a while injured, and Mbeumo's off to AFCON around game week 16. He's 7.9 million. Thiago, definitely worth a mention as well, and he came really close to another double-digit haul, if not for a Verbruggen penalty save late in the game. Burnley home next as well, so it's the perfect time to buy him. You just want to bench him in game week 14 against Arsenal if you can, but outside of that, start him every week. Wolves 0, Palace 2. Bad start for Edwards as the new Wolves head coach, but double-digit points from both Munoz and Lacroix with 14 and 11, a goal and an assist respectively. Munoz dedicated his goal to his friend Sebastian Rios, who passed away recently, which was a really nice touch after his goal. And Pino getting the second as well, brilliant curler for their second. Mateta annoyingly only made it to 59 minutes, and Ketia replacing him a minute short of the extra appearance point. So yeah, that was an annoying one-pointer for us that had him. And Saar Blanken as well, so it was just a Palace defence that delivered any notable points. But that's 5 attacking returns in 12 games for Munoz, 5 in 12, plus 6 clean sheets. So that's 11 returns in 12 games. And that's just what makes him such a great pick. Like, he's going to get attacking returns given how advanced he plays. So it's kind of like having an extra midfielder in your team that gets you 4 clean sheet points instead of 1. That's how I like to look at Munoz. 2 goals, 3 assists this season. Gakpo, for example, is way more expensive. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists. Doku's got 1 goal, 4 assists. So the same goal involvement count. Harvey Barnes is the first Newcastle player to score twice in a Premier League game against Man City since Alan Shearer in 2003, with game week 12 being their 40th meeting in the Premier League as well since Shearer got that brace. Voltemade had a few really good chances as well, he probably should have scored. Likewise Haaland, huge disappointment, obviously unless you went elsewhere for captaincy. He had about 1.5 XG and he missed a couple of big chances. It was a hell of a day for Harvey Barnes though. In his FPL team, he benched Triple City, which paid off big time, and on top of that, of course, he scores both goals in the 2-1 win. Huge result for Newcastle, bad result for City. So a quick look at the updated DEFCON standings. For defenders, the per 90 leaders are Senesi, 12.31 per 90 for him, and then it's Anderson, Van Dijk, Mukiele, Richards, Tarkowski and then Lacroix. Senesi's also got the best success rate with 75%. In terms of mids, Anderson leads the mids now. He's on 13.08 per 90, which is just ahead of Caicedo's 12.86 per 90. And then it's Xhaka third. He doesn't look half bad either. But I think I prefer Anderson for the 0.1 million more, because Xhaka's risen a couple of times and Anderson's fallen a couple of times, so they've sort of met in the middle there. Both are great options for their price though, to be honest. Rounding off the weekend, Arsenal with a very comfortable 4-1 win over Spurs. Arsenal only conceded 0.07 expected goals, and it was a Richarlison goal from way out. The headline's obviously Eze though, with a hat-trick in the North London derby. That's actually the 400th hat-trick in Premier League history, which is quite a nice round number. The last North London derby hat-trick was back in 1978. So obviously a lot of excitement or hype with Eze after that hat-trick and 20-pointer, but should we actually go and buy him now? I do think, despite the 20-pointer, to me it feels a little bit like points chasing, and with Odegaard back in the fray soon as well, I just think there's better choices realistically, but well played if you had him already in your team. Timber assisted one of the goals, so he got a 5-pointer. The only thing with the Arsenal defence right now is it's hovering about 100% effective ownership, so if you've only got one defensive asset in your team, then the clean sheet wipes don't actually have any impact on rank right now really. It's if you're doubled up in defence that you really want those clean sheets. So an early look at my team selection and transfer plans for Game Week 13, and the team is Raya, Munoz, Van Dijk, Mukiele, Saka, Semenyo, Enzo, Bruno, Thiago, Haaland and Mateta. So very straightforward captaincy this week, despite the blank. It's Haaland against Leeds. Is it worth triple captaining though? I'd say the best 2 opportunities for the first half of the season are Haaland this week, and then Haaland in Game Week 17 when he's got West Ham home. And West Ham will have just lost Juve and Wan-Bissaka to AFCON as well. You can always make a case for playing what's in front of you when it comes to moments like these in the triple captainship. Like anything could happen between now and Game Week 17 to kill off Haaland triple captaincy. Like, imagine he gets a knock or gets injured and he misses game week 17. Then really the options aren't nearly as good as game week 13 next, if that makes sense. But I am leaning towards saving it currently because I think basically game week 17 is better than game week 13 by enough to save it and take the chance. Now, game week 13 is also a popular free hit week, but I don't think I need it for my team. It's really team dependent chip. Like, I've already got Thiago, for example, who's going to be the sort of player that lots are going to want to free hit in for Burnley home. I wouldn't mind someone like Foden for next game week, maybe a City defender or Donnarumma. And there's some other fun free hit picks like maybe Doku or Sharda, but I plan to keep it in the back pocket, maybe use it in game week 14. So in terms of transfers, I've got one free transfer, 0.4 million in the bank. And the main weakness when I look at my team for next week is Enzo against Arsenal. And I can afford to do something like Enzo to Sharda or maybe Minte. Sharda's one yellow card from suspension, which puts me off a bit. Probably enough not to go there because I've got Munoz as well, one yellow away. So I think I'll be playing with fire if I bring in Sharda, as much as I think he's great for next week and maybe beyond that. Though I'm happy with Enzo's performances. As I said earlier, he's generating good numbers, which should continue to equate to points. So I could just end up keeping him longer term. Like, Leeds in game week 14's a pretty nice fixture if I don't free hit then. So the plan this week, in summary, is to roll the transfer. Now, obviously, the value of free transfers is diminishing every week as we near game week 16. So there is more incentive to play a bit more aggressively each week as we get near to game week 16. So yeah, I think the ideal thing to be doing right now is to stay on a relatively low transfer count. You don't need to have 4 or 5 banks. So yeah, as I say, the plan is to roll and then go from there. Let us know below in the comments how many points you're on and what your transfer plans are for next game week. Hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There's more content to come this week every day. See you soon for the next one.